You're watching Palatinate TV.
Hello everyone, I'm Patrick, one of the news editors at Palatinate, and these are the interviews for the 2021 SU elections. We've got Aditya here, who's running for SU president. If you'd like to just introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Aditya. I'm a second year law student here at Stephenson College. I'm running for the SU president this year.
So firstly, why did you decide to run for the position?
Because if I'll be elected as SU president, I'll be able to make changes where I think which is essential for our SU and for all the students. So I thought rather I also contest myself to make the change which I want, which for the students.
So what relevant experience do you have that you could bring to the role?
Yeah, I was the cultural president of the Delhi University, and I worked as international officer of the Stephenson College JCR. Now I'm currently serving as Indian SOC president. I have experience in leadership role, which I'll be working in the development and the betterment of students' experience here at Durham.
So just moving on to what the role of president involves. What do you think the most important thing that the president does is?
I think that there should be every SU president should work in order to for the welfare of students. There was a quote that I relate to a quote. SU president has a duty that is to secure social welfare of all the students. It's not about getting paid. It's not about getting paid job. It's all about working and serving for the students. So I want that I'm not working for a paid job or to get fees for my accommodation, free accommodation, which every SU president I think get, or for the salary or which SU president get. I'm here to serve students, to make their voices heard. That's why I'm running for the SU president this year.
So could you just tell us a little bit about your manifesto and your campaign?
My manifesto includes I'll fight against the rise of student fees for both home and international students. You won't believe, I'm doing law, fees for my course is around 19,000, 2,500 for my course. But same for the freshers, this fees has been increased by 2,500 pounds. This is unfair. And I think that we should end the disparity. Fees should be fees should be equal for everyone. Because we are living in such a situation when people are studying back at home online, so it would be unfair for them to pay higher prices. Because similarly, their seniors in the same course are paying 19,000, 2,500 pounds, and they are supposed to pay 21,700 pounds. So it's unfair. So I want that this should be and there should be equal fees for the same course. Yeah. Apart from that, I want to lobby the university to implement the no detriment policy, because at this moment, cases are increasing day by day, so that there should be a proper backing up of there should be a policy by which student can think that they can work under without any pressure, for betterment of their grades. So there should be no detriment policy. Apart from that, I want that there should be e-library access to all the students, even after 5 years of their graduation, because most people are doing online. Even after their graduation, there should be e-library access to them, so they can find relevant documents or articles or online books, so they can utilize that thing. Apart from that, I want that every college JCR should be open 24/7 when when university opens, when university open for the offline mode for all the students. I want that every college JCR should be open 24/7, so that students can hang out, they can do whatever they want, for the activities, they can play anything, whatever they want. Apart from that, I also want that there should be free printing facility for all the students in every JCRs and in the SU, because when students are paying lot of pounds, lots of money, hard-earned money for their education, why should they pay separately for the printing facilities? You need it will be better when students read with handouts in their hand instead of studying on laptop. So that's why I want that there should be free facility of printing facility in every JCR and in the SU. Like even it's for even it should be on the weekends for free facilities. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and I'll be working in collaboration with the People of Color Association to combat racism and discrimination in our university. That's what I'm thinking. Apart from that, I think that there is a need for an annual cultural fest in our university. Like it's not that as bigger as the Tomorrowland, but there should be an annual cultural fest where people can like enjoy. That's what I'm thinking. These all these points I've mentioned in my manifesto. I'll also try to fight against the higher accommodation fees. Yeah, that what I've included in my manifesto. Also, I'm
Oh,
thinking. Sorry. Also, I'm thinking to provide bicycles in every colleges, like 10 as cycles funded by SU in almost like 10, in 10 in almost every colleges, like 10 bicycle 10 or 15 bicycles, which could be given to students so that they can use it for their convenience. In means of convenience, I also want that there should be an app for the night bus service, Nightline, which student like night bus which has been run by our SU. There should be an app for that so that people can book just like Uber for their convenience. That what I'm thinking. That what I've included in my manifesto.
so you mentioned working closely with the Durham People of Color Association.
Yeah.
The current president has introduced the Culture Commission to investigate kind of Durham's culture. What are your thoughts on that, and what would you like to do with that going forward?
It's a really great initiative. I would be like appreciate her issue, the way she like build up this committee. But I think that there should be more diversity. I've seen that. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. I've seen the people who were included in this commission were part of her campaign team last year. People who are in this culture commission were the part of the current SU president in her campaign. So I want that people apart from my team will be part of this initiative which she took, which I appreciate. But there should be diversity. The people from all background, whether like you might think that people will oppose me, people will be wrong about my opinion. And in a healthy democracy, there are people might have different views, different opinions, and might they have different ideologies. I think that people from all groups should be included in such type of commission. And I also want to tell one thing. People might say that I'm outsider, or like just like what happened last year, people on Durfest or on overhead like mentioned that a specific candidate was underdog. I just want to tell one thing. I'm not outside, even though I'm outsider, but I can tell that like my great grandfather fought for the British Army in the First World War, and he lost his life while fighting for the British Indian Army. So in the same way, I'm not outsider. I'll be working for all the students, for all the welfare of all the students, in spite of their race, sex, culture, everything. I'll be working for all. That's what I'm thinking.
So you mentioned this a little bit, but what would you aim to do differently from your predecessor?
First of all, I'll try that our SU should work in a more transparent and democratic manner. I'll recite you an incident. You won't believe, even all students won't believe about this thing. Even I've also mailed you about this issue. I've mailed Palantinate about this issue. The closing of the nomination date was 29 January. All right. But still the nomination portal was open for 4 days. How can this happen? Like no closing of the nomination date was 29 January and the portal was still open for 4 days. And I was like suspicious of SU's intention. Like they might did this in order to like in order to nominate their favorite candidate, so that they can work according to them, or or candidate or any, or, so they can elect officers who can work as a puppet. I don't want to be a puppet of such kind of SU. I'm running for a change. I want a more democratic and transparent SU. I have I have evidential proof. I was very suspicious. Like, what's going on? Like, why are this nomination portal is still open? So I asked one of my friend to file file nomination for any post. So she filed her nomination. After the closing of the nomination, you won't believe, her nomination was like accepted even after the closing of the after the closing of nomination date. How can this happen? I want that. I demand that I demand that our SU should clarify who, like, when all the candidates filed their nomination, because I'm very doubtful. I'm very suspicious of the arbitrariness which what SU did in this election, because RON created a huge controversy last year. So I want that there should be complete transparency in the election procedure. Yeah.
So kind of leading on nicely from that, the SU published its democracy review a couple of months ago. What are your thoughts? Firstly, just what are your thoughts on the democracy review?
When such incidents are still going on, after when there was a huge controversy last year, and like I'm telling, I have evidential proof this happened, like in this year as well. How can we talk about democratic review or something? It doesn't matter. Like, you can show, you can like you can show anything, like it's what you show, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
So just picking up on a couple of specific issues from the democracy review. Only a quarter of respondents thought that there was room for debate and discourse at Durham SU. What do you think of that?
Yeah. There should be a debate, and there should be involvement of all the students who think that SU should work in like proper democratic manner. Like, I have doubt at this. I'm the candidate for this election. Even I have doubt. How, like, if my doubt aren't clear, so how can students believe? How can normal students believe who aren't very active in the student politics? So these doubts should be cleared by the SU. Why this happening year by year?
And secondly, under half of students agreed that students from all backgrounds are welcome within the SU. What would you do to try and change that?
I didn't hear.
Sorry. Under half of students think that students from all backgrounds are welcome.
All background students were welcome. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the sample size of the survey. So it might, because it depends on the sample size, because most of the people don't know like what's going on in our SU. They're not up to date. So the true fact or the true reality will be revealed when the sample size will be increased of such type of surveys. I want that these type of surveys should be reached to all the students. When we have proper when we have proper numbers, then we can decide it's going on in the right direction or not. So that's what I think about this.
There seem to be a lot of students who are quite apathetic to the SU or strongly opposed to it. Do you think that the SU should try to appeal to all students, including those?
Obviously, like, they should appeal to everyone, because I was in an interview with the Purple Radio, and the person asked me what you will do if you were the runner-up and you would have lost to the RON. I was like, I would have accepted the mandate, because it's people's mandate. If I would have lost by the RON, then I would have given a resignation, because I lost to the people's mandate. So it's all about students' mandate and confidence, which all student leader and the officer which will be elected should gain.
How would you aim to appeal to all students and kind of bring back those students who are opposed to the SU?
If if a candidate like me who's opposing to their who's exposing SU at the moment with evidential proof, I'll appeal to all the students to indulge in a debate so that they can put their view in front of SU, in front of officers, so they must have their like voices heard. So that's why I want that all the student voices should be heard by the SU, not only by the officer, by the SU, by our vice chancellor, because people, students are paying for that. It's not about that. It's not about that. They are doing they are serving students, because the SU normally, or the student elected students, just do their job for their paid salary. It's not about they should be accountable to the students, because you won't believe if the paid job should be like removed, like, oh, if there's a decision in Senate or a high bodies that there will be no salary for the elected officer, you won't believe. No one will be filed. Anyone won't file their nomination for this post. Most of the people are running for these posts for paid job, a paid job, or to boost their CV. This job is for the students to know them, that someone is working for them. It's not about getting salary, getting accommodation fees, or like the free accommodation fees or something like that, because they should be accountable and they should always work in a direction to serve all the students. That's what I want. Like student leader should student leader shouldn't be running behind paid job, or they should not they should not contest election in order to boost their CVs. Instead of that, they should do something which make a difference, like history will know that you did something for the students. That's what I want.
Would you like to see SU officers not being paid?
Yeah, I'll be happy in doing so. If everyone agrees to that, everyone on the exec agrees to that, I'll be happy to like give away my salary and for students welfare. Like these funds could be utilized for students welfare. Like students are getting around 22 to 23,000 pounds. I'm not sure because I haven't checked it. I'm not running for paid job, paid service. I just want to serve people, and I it's my nature. Because I'll be going back to my country. I won't like need. I really don't need like job out here. So I'm purely contesting this election to serve all the students, to raise their voices in the Senate in front of vice chancellor. If all students agree, like if all exec members agree that they are happy to give away their salaries or jobs, I'll be happy to give my job salary as well.
Do you not think that the salary is partly to make sure that students from more disadvantaged backgrounds can also apply for those roles, so they don't have to be supported by their parents, for example?
Yeah, we can say that. You are right. Like it depends. We can't judge anyone about their background or something. But my intention of telling this was that like an officer's job should be in order to serve students. They should not focus on the paid job. Like while thinking of contesting election, they should think about students' welfare, what policy they can make for the betterment of students' life, students' experience out here. That's why I intended about the salary thing.
And just finally, there's a lot of apathy among first-year students, and that can't be put down to the election last year, which was quite controversial. So there's a lot of first-year students who seem to be very apathetic or hostile to the SU. What would you do to kind of support and bring those students in?
I'll start bi-weekly talks with average students at my office. Like after getting elected, I'll make sure that everyone can meet me up. If they have any doubt, those doubts can be cleared by myself, or I can raise their point in front of our like SU team or in front of our VC. So I'll be working in this order to like so that students shouldn't have any problem or like any hesitation come in like to put their problems in front of elected officers.
And And you talked about kind of making sure that student fees were fairer. Would you like to see them capped, or would you like to see it kind of change across years, if that makes sense?
I'll organize a poll about that. There should be a survey, like what the students want, because I'm raising their issues. Because whatever they want, it will be done in a survey. Like whatever the decision of the survey will be handed over to our vice chancellor, and the sample size will be increased. It's not about a small sample size. Sample size should be a bigger one, so that the true reality of the survey come in front of us.
And do you have any final things you'd like to add? Anything that you'd particularly like to mention that you haven't been able to?
I just want to say that please vote for me, because I'll promise to do my best and never take a rest. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.